Hey there, everyone. So I thought I'd do a video this week of what an accounting system is and why it's important. So whenever we're just talking about accounting information systems, we have to remember that we're not just necessarily talking about technology. What we're talking about is we're talking about the system you use for the control processes within the accounting department. So that's going to be the different approvals, that's going to be the flow of information, stuff like that. So, for example, I used to work for a gas company, and I did general ledger accounting for them, and I would have to record transportation costs for this gas company, and that had to do with like the gas that was being used for the trucks, any sort of maintenance and repairs. Excuse me. And so what what I would have to do is make a journal entry each month based upon the data that was sent to me by the vice president of transportation. And then I would take that data, make the totals, complete the journal entry, and then I would pass it off to my accounting manager, and she would sign off on it until I actually put it into the system. Okay, that's an accounting information system. She gave the approval to the journal entry. I got the information from the VP of Transportation who worked directly with those costs, and that helped to ensure that the accuracy of the journal entry was made whenever I made it. I was merely processing the journal entry. Another time I worked as a project accountant for an engineering company, and I would have to get certain confirmations before an invoice was paid. Before I would send off an invoice to be paid by the accounts payable department, I was in the process of trying to help control costs, so I would make sure that invoices matched up to their contracts. So I would have to take an invoice, make sure it matched up to the contract. I would sign off on the invoice, send it to the project manager. He would sign off on the invoice, and then I would enter it into the system and have someone else check over the journal entry of entering the invoice into the system, and they would sign off on it, and then I would send it down to accounts payable. They would review it, and they would sign off on it. So you see, it's a system being used for different processes as checkpoints to make sure that that there's as many hands on it as possible to ensure not necessarily accuracy, but also prevents fraud. So that translates into today with a lot of things being computerized. And so there's a lot of systems out there like Great Plains. Oracle's one of them, used to be known as PeopleSoft. One of the more better ones known as QuickBooks or Quicken, that's used for a lot of small businesses. And so those accounting information systems actually force on you certain approvals. So for example, you can't process an accounting journal entry without getting a clicked sign off from your manager. Okay, so it forces you to do that. And so whenever you do an accounting system, you have to make sure that it matches up to the system that you already have in place with the different approvals and the different flows of information within the system. For example, I used to work for a software company. I was a revenue accountant for them, and we operated in a system called Great Plains. Well, Great Plains is a Microsoft product and is actually designed for a lot of logistics companies and manufacturers. Like I know a dairy company here in Kansas City that uses Great Plains, or used to anyway. I haven't worked for them, but I just know of them. And that, from what I know, that system works great for their processes. However, with software and the revenue recognition principles that we had to abide by, called VSOE, that software package actually did not match well with our processes for various reasons. So it's very important whenever you pick out an accounting system software that matches up to the accounting system that you already have in place with all the approvals and everything. So anyway, hope that helps. Let me know your thoughts, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the discussion boards. Thanks.